What's going on, everybody? It's DotBets. We're checking back in. We have our On the Dot PGA live stream coming at you guys here for the Valspar Championship with my main man, TeaserNation, fresh off of our double outright hit on Scottie Scheffler last week. Pretty crazy, dominant performance from Scottie. We were texting each other back and forth saying, yeah, this is pretty much over. Scottie had it in the bag. And if you've tuned in any of our shows, you know we do not back or talk too much about Scottie Scheffler. However, last week, we're just like, yeah, you have to play. 100%, you're playing him. He's going to win. He's the best golfer in that entire tournament. He flat out showed it. So, Teaser, all in all, I think you had a very, very good weekend, especially with that outright. So back-to-back, was it back-to-back outrights for you? Or is it 2 out of 3?
I think 2 out of 3 weeks.
2 out of 3. Yeah.
2 out of 3.
So how are we feeling tonight, man?
Yeah, we feel like the smartest guys, right? We just didn't overthink it this time. We don't bet on Scheffler much. So I guess that's what it's like when you have him. So I might go back to him if I ever get a DK boost or something like that, if we can ever get like a 10 or something like that. It was just, once you got to Saturday, Sunday, it's him versus Minwoo Lee. It's just not that hard. So
no.
He kind of saved the week for me. I had Morikawa top 20. I was a little disappointed he didn't. I had him outright as well. I thought he was going to contend. I think he went like even the last 3 days. He didn't do anything. So the putter just went cold. I was a little sad about the Fleetwood top 20. He was going into 17, I think T13 doubled that and finished T26. So overall, Cam Young was right there too. So he kind of just fell back like he usually does. I'm getting a little annoyed at him because he's always there. He's like kind of like a Hovland right now. He gets into contention. Yep. He was literally 6 under through 7 on Saturday. He could have went 10 under and like got himself in it, and then he just goes like double bogey. So I don't know, but yeah, it was good. This isn't my favorite tournament this week, but we'll still get into it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Morikawa was round 1. I was like, okay, this guy's
I was
on the stream. Yeah. We were like, this guy is throwing darts out there. This is what we want him to do. He can shape his shot either way.
Yep.
Wow, electric. Then the rest of the tournament, it was like, no, let's just go cruise control. Let's just not do it. Nothing clicked for him. And then you had Hoagie on the was it Saturday? He shot a 62. I was sitting there. I had a top 40 on Hoagie. I'm like, all right, I think I can do this thing. And then all of a sudden, I didn't watch it Saturday towards the end, and all of a sudden, Discord just blew up. They're like, Hoagie just got a 62, and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
So it was pretty wild to watch that.
Yeah.
And then he came through on Sunday. I think he finished like top 3 or so.
Yeah.
And was Hovland? Was Hovland up there too?
I think he was top 10. I think maybe top 20. Yeah.
So, yeah, all in all, we had a really, really profitable stream. If this is your first time tuning into us, appreciate you guys. If you guys are on YouTube or Twitch, leave a comment and let us know you are here. Love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions over props, first-round leaders, matchups, anything DFS, we'll talk some March Madness here. We'll just talk briefly about who we're going with the tournament, some first-round upsets, anything like that. We'll spice that up throughout the show. So if you guys have any March Madness takes, I'd love to hear from you guys, because we're not huge college basketball guys. We follow a little bit here and there, and everyone kind of always goes into the tournament and tries to always have that perfect bracket. So we always fill one out for fun. If you guys are feeling obligated, hop into the Discord. We are running a bracket challenge. First 5, we're going to pay out 5 places, and you'll get access to the VIP Discord, for the rest of the year, months, and weeks. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's dive into the Valspar Championship. Teaser, break it down, the course, and what attributes we should be going after some golfers here.
Yeah, so just a brief overview. It's a pretty long course, over 7,300 yards. It's a par 71, still Bermuda green since we're in Florida. It's kind of tree-lined fairways, so there's a lot of danger. I heard this year they made the rough 4 inches instead of 3 inches. So you're going to get penalized a little more for missing fairways. There's 9 water hazards on 18 holes. So there's a lot of water out there. Really the profile. So what you were saying, what we're kind of looking for is guys who can consistently hit the fairways and perform well with long irons. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at this week, the mid to long iron guys who are really good. And then guys who can, it's kind of, they can have a good week or a bad week, but guys who can, hit the fairway.
Mm-hmm. And I'll add to that because there is some wind affecting play this weekend. We'll get into that wave advantage here shortly, but I'm targeting guys that play well in windy conditions, European players, non-US players. So I have 2 outrights on that front because of that. So yeah, that's one factor I'm heavily considering this week.
Yeah, that's always another thing to look at. But and then just a course breakdown, 9 par 4s. They average around 450 yards. There's also 5 par 3s on this course, and I think 3 are over 215. So that's another thing I'll get into. We're going to kind of look at guys who are good on par 3s from 200 to like 230 out. Couple course comps. Really, it's kind of similar to Pete Dye courses. So like last week we saw TBC Sawgrass. Once again, Harbor Town that they play coming up in April. And then the closest comp is the Colonial Country Club. I think that's in June. I forgot what tournament that's called, but that's also another good comp with kind of tree-lined fairways. You got to be kind of concise off the tee. So those are a couple key stats. I'll kind of dive into my outrights. This first guy is really the reason why I'm taking him is because I got a DraftKings boost. So if you don't have a DraftKings boost, I still like him, but I'm getting 15 to 1 on him, and that's Justin Thomas instead of 11. They're giving a plus 400 boost. So really, I mean, I don't know. I am a Justin Thomas guy. A lot of people aren't. I don't know. I just keep going back to him. The model ranks obviously there. He's 3rd in my fantasy national model this week. He's always good at making birdies. He's 2nd opportunities gained. He's 3rd par 4, 450 to 500 yards. And that's where most of the par 4s are this week from that distance. His course history here is actually really good. I think he's been close to winning here twice. I remember 2 years ago, he kind of choked on a Sunday, but 4 top 20s and 5 starts, which is pretty good. It's a weak field. So I mean, he's got to be up there contending. And then I think what I looked at recent, he's gaining strokes across the board in his last 2 starts, besides the putting, which obviously is, with him, the putting's the putting, but you just kind of hope he can kind of put it all together and he's going to win. For me, it's just with him, it's like he's got to win eventually, right? Like it's coming up here, and with a weak field, I'll take a 15 to 1 on him.
Mm-hmm. Man, I was watching a couple of his rounds, a couple of his shots. He eagled. He chipped in for eagle to end the round, I think, I think it was Sunday that he did that, or it was Saturday or Sunday. I mean, he was.
Oh, he hold out on 18. Yeah, from
was 100. That in the tournament for him?
I think it was.
It was either Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday.
But he was throwing darts too, and he just could not make a putt, and it was
right. Yeah, he's looking good. It's just it's really the putting, and then if it gets going, like it gets going. So we'll see.
And one thing about DFS, PGA, or just PGA betting in general, putting is so incredibly variant that Justin Thomas might not have had it last week. He can for sure make that up this week. Yep. All about strokes gained, how their ball strike, anything like that. I'll take that in consideration and just hope that his putter gets hot for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's really, and just the number, if you're getting that boost, you can't pass up on a 15 to 1 in this field. So, and then my second guy, Justin Rose, I got 25 to 1 on DraftKings. He might be down to like 23 now, 22. I still would take that. The model rank here, he's 4th, as you can see. It's kind of just, pretty good across the board. There's not like top 10 in any specific key stat, but it's really about his course history, 2 top 10s and 2 missed cuts. So it's, 50-50 there on how he does here. He's gaining on approach his last 5 starts, which is, I mean, he's having a great year. He's won at Pebble Beach. Last week, he was tied 6, I believe. And then last week at Sawgrass, this is kind of what I wanted to see was he was top 5 in ball striking, top 5 tee to green, top 5 total driving. So he's really honestly putting it all together right now. He wants to be, supposedly it's just a weird thing. They always mention the Ryder Cup. I think he wants to be on that team this year, the upcoming Ryder Cup. So he's trying his hardest, to kind of just, ball out for this year. So you have no choice but to pick him for that team. So he's a guy I'm looking at this week. I think he'll be in contention as well, given his recent form. And then third, kind of more chalk with Adam Hadwin. I got 28-1. His model rank, it's really, if it's going to be a model type week for me, he's fifth.
You're picking the top ones here.
Yeah, it's because these are important stats for me this week. The good drives here, he's sixth. He's always finding, the fairway. He's really good at hitting fairways. 16th bogey avoidance, which is key here. He actually has 4 top 15 finishes this season. I didn't know he was actually that good this year so far. And his course history is really where it kind of got me. His 3 top 10s here, and he won in 2017. Yeah. I mean, that's almost 6 years ago already, but still, I mean, you always have those good vibes where you win. He fits well with the positional course. Like I said, he hits a lot of fairways. So if he can stay out of the rough, I think he also will be contending. If he can put the putter with the driver in the approach game, I think he'll be there. So, and then my last one, my fourth one, I'm not going to talk too much about. It's kind of just like throwing a dart at a board on this one. I just needed to find a fourth, and I didn't know where to go with it. But I did Garrett Kigo at 90-1.
Wow.
He's the long shot of the week. I mean, the one thing I will say, I mean, this guy, you might have to type him in because he might be way down there. Yeah, he's so inconsistent. But like the one thing you can say about him is his one win on the PGA Tour came at more of a I don't know how to describe it, more of like a plantation type course. It was in South Carolina. It's kind of like, it's not this type of vibe, this course, but he always seems to, put his best golf together in Florida, or that type of vibe on that golf course. So I don't know. It's just one of those long shots. Hopefully he can give us a sweat maybe. So
I like it. I like those long shots. Definitely. I'm going to throw him into the player pool. Mm-hmm. I want to see what he's ranked real quick. Hold on.
I mean, shit, he could easily miss a cut and go 12 over, but
7,600 on DraftKings, 5% owned. So
yeah,
you're not the only one talking about him out there. I like it.
I will say that's probably the riskiest you can get DFS wise. So
here you go. Okay, 5%. Boom. Just put it down. Speaking of wave advantages and the wind this week, it clearly shows a significant break from the morning in the afternoon on Thursday. So 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts in the morning, all the way up till about 11 a.m. And then after 11 a.m., it goes from 17 mile an hour gusts down to about 9 at 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. So significant advantage if you're doing first round leaders to target those guys later on that start around 11, around 12, around 1 or so. So aim for those lower players. And if you are playing DFS, so if you're playing low risk, you're playing maybe one entry, have those guys from PM to AM for those wave advantages. And if you just want to be completely different from the field, because a lot of people are going to do that this week, go ahead and just be risky enough and play those guys that are very good in windy play, and go AM, PM, and get completely different there. So that's the way you could kind of attack this particular Thursday, Friday wave advantage early on. If you're playing any showdowns, probably target those guys in the afternoon as well. So just wanted to hit on that. And then getting into my outrights, I'm going to piggyback on the model play here and go the number one player in the model. I know Teaser is still pissed at this guy for last week. His top 20 not cashing, horrific end to his round. I cashed my top 40. Felt bad cashing that, while Teaser got kind of shafted by Fleetwood. But I'm going to go back to him. That's been kind of the motto that we wanted to set this year, is to go back to guys. We said it on the stream last week and we didn't do it, but we were like, man, we really want Hatton. And it just didn't make any of our cards. Boom, he's up there once again. I'm like, damn it, I should have just listened to us. So I'm listening to myself again. Fleetwood has played well here. He has a couple different times. One time played last year, got 16th. but over his last 5 tournaments, he's gained 4.2 strokes. Yeah, he's absolutely smashing the ball. Only thing that I'm concerned of here is his good drives, and that can get you here because you need to be accurate off the tee. So that's my only concern, but I'm willing to take that with how well his iron play has been, as you guys can see from the model. Number 2 in strokes gained on approach. So I'm gonna take his good drives and hopefully be able to have some bogey avoidance there, and then also top 15 against the par 3s. So long iron play guys are the way to go here. And speaking of long iron players, that is one of the best in the entire world. The cover boy, Matthew Fitzpatrick. Going back to him, he's been one of the guys that I've truly loved to play each and every week. You see his strokes gained is 114th though. So I'm going against the model here, and I'm going on a more of a gut play, kind of the JT approach where, hey, this is one of the elite players in the field. Let's go ahead. I'll take him 14-1 to get there. And if you want to use maybe is the boost only for Thomas?
No, you can boost.
So you can use So you can use for
18-1 then on Fitzpatrick.
So you can get you can go 18-1 on Fitzpatrick. Not a bad idea. But yeah, those are my 2 outrights that I'm for sure taking. I do have Riley written down. I don't know if he's going to officially make the card, but I don't want to miss out on the Davis Riley week. So I'm going to continue to kind of play him. I've missed out on some of his top 40s. I think he's had a couple top 20s. Maybe this is the one that he gets up there, but I'm not too sure if he can actually win it. So I might just default and maybe go a top 20. I'm still deciding that one. But for sure, Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood, 2 guys that play well and win, 2 guys that hit their irons very, very well. So all about that. What do you got for top 20s or top 40s? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to start my top 20s with Sam Burns. I got plus 110. It's just kind of a nod that he's been really good here. I mean, he's back-to-back winner. That's really all I got to say. I mean, he's won the last – he gained 14 strokes last year here, 5 putting, 7 on approach, 16.
I think they like legit made this course harder because of him.
Right. Right. I mean, it's hard to – I don't know if he's going to three-peat it. I was thinking about doing a 20-1 on him with the boost, but I went JT. I mean, if you look at I know you just dropped the model, but I'll just read it to you. The model, he's 49th in the model. He's been horrible this year. Like strokes gained approaching 93, fairways gained 121. So yeah, he's 49th. So you just got to scroll down a little bit there, which is it's really alarming how he's kind of started off. But I guess he's always been this kind of play. He kind of has started slow, and then he won Valspar last year. Mm-hmm. It's really his off the good drives, fairways. I read something about him, how I think he was going through some swing changes a little bit. He did kind of maybe figure it out last week with a decent finish. So I'll just go with the top 20. I mean, you always got to love a guy who loves the course. That's always a good thing. So
and I'll piggyback on that. Like he's a guy, if you're going to fade somebody that just won back-to-back,
you can't.
Kudos to you. You really can't, especially a guy who hasn't been playing very well. And his ownership, usually guys that win back-to-back and usually play well, and you see their ownership tick up to 30 to 35% because it's a weak field. This guy's sitting currently around 20%, 19 to 20%. Absolutely insane. And if you want to get some leverage on him and think that you can get a little bit above the field, go 25, go 30%. If you want to get bold with it, go 40% and double it. But I mean, I think it's a great leverage spot. Obviously, it's a more of a high risk play because he does have some ownership to him. But you got 7 guys or 6 guys ahead of him that have more ownership. So I'm totally fine with playing Sam Burns this week. I'm adding him to my top 20 card. Is that what you're doing? You got top 20?
Yeah, I got plus 110. I'll do it.
I got plus 100. So yeah, we'll ride the Burns trend. It's hard to fade somebody who's got good course history like this.
Yeah, I agree. And then I'll just finish. I just have 2 more top 20s for now. I kind of wanted to keep it light this week because match plays next week, so I'm excited for that.
What's up, AV Studios? How we doing, man? Appreciate you tuning in.
His emojis.
AV, who do you want for March Madness? Who you got in the bracket? I want to know. I would love to hear from you. All right, you go ahead.
No,
keep going.
No, you're good. So second, I have this guy's kind of, I don't know, Steven Yeager at 2-1. Sometimes he's just getting that top 10. You know, like I'm feeling one of those from him this week. He's actually 6th in the model, so he does rank well in the model. He's kind of just good across the boards besides fairways gained. Par threes, this is a key stat. 220 to 225 par threes, he's 14th. Bogey avoidance, he's 8th, which is another key one, and then 27th in strokes gained. So that's basically taking all of the strokes gains put together. He doesn't have great course history to here, but this was the one where it was like I saw him at number 6, and I'm like, wow, like I kind of have to take him somewhere. So 2-1 on the top 20, I think was pretty good value there. And then I'm going to kind of round out the top 20s, maybe add one more, we'll see. But Taylor Moore at plus 250. I've kind of heard a little bit about him this week. He's actually been playing really well this year. He's 8th in the model, which was surprising to me as well. That's kind of why I really went with him. 10th par 4 is 450 to 500, 19th bogey avoidance. Top 40 in 5 of his last 6 starts. So he's been, making cuts, which is always a good sign. And his putter's trending and his ball striking has been solid his past 20 starts I was looking at. So he's gaining positive strokes throughout each category, which is always a good sign looking at someone going into a week. So that's good.
I like it. So I'll add to my top 20. I'm going to double up with Fleetwood. So plus 125. And then I got my guy Burns. And then I'll piggyback on Adam Hadwin. I'm not going to do his outright, but I'm going to go his top 20 plus 130.
I like that. Yep.
And I'm debating currently if I should add Clark or McCarthy to my top 20s at plus 170. Another guy that I just now looked at, it was more of a model play, and I've been on him before. I got kind of burned this year with a miscut, is Gary Woodland, just because of his damn iron play.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of it, some of people on him in Twitter. I mean, if you look at it, the par 3, he's a really good long iron player. I mean, I'll give him that, but it's really, I mean, you want to scroll to the right there, you can see his putting. Look where that ranks, 145. So
hey, what do we say?
No, I know.
Always get hot.
Hey.
Putter can always get hot, right?
Right. No, I agree. So it just sucks it's always those guys, man, that
plus
we take
200 top 20, plus 200 top 20, minus 110 top 40. I'm not going to touch the top 40, but man, what's he got here? And he's played here ever since 2014. Got an 8, a miscut, 42nd, 58, 3 miscuts in a row, and then last year he got a 21. So you have no clue what you're going to be getting with Gary Woodland, and you're probably gambling more than anything. I'm debating if I want to gamble that with Woodland, but you can't complain on his iron play. That's the only reason that's drawn me to him. So
I don't hate it, honestly. I don't.
Yeah. We got AB Studios says Grand Canyon. So I hope that's just the first round upset or something, and not the whole thing. Who do they play first round? Is it?
I have to fill them out tonight. I have no clue.
Oh gosh, I knew off the top of my head. Let me know who the heck they play.
Yeah.
All right, you got any top 40s?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2 this week. We talked about this guy before the stream. He's number 2 in the model there, Ben Griffin.
Oh,
I mean, I knew he was gonna pop out in the model. He's been really good this year. We both got plus 100 on that. You kind of talked me into it. I didn't even think about him, honestly.
Just a side note. Teaser literally texted me, I think, Thursday morning and was like, we have to play Ben Griffin a lot more.
Dude,
I'm like, all right, sounds good. So we get on before the stream, and I'm like, all right, so I thought he was gonna lead with Ben Griffin, and I'm like, hey, I got Ben Griffin top 40. He goes, oh hell yeah, forgot about that. Let's go. I was like, all right, we're riding top 40.
It's crazy, man. He did finish 35th of the players. I mean, he was in contention, though. You can't really fault him. I mean, that's tough to ask a rookie to, hang in there on the weekend. But, I mean, he cashed a top 40. He was 14th Arnold Palmer, 21st Honda, miscut AT&T Pebble Beach, 31st, 32nd, 12th, 29th. So
did you watch when they gave him, the mic? got this.
Yeah, he was a cool guy, man. He was a little awkward, but he was
kind of, I don't know. He's like just like happy to be there, glad to be there, like a good dude. And then like the thing that always it made me laugh was like the guys were talking and asking him a question. He's like, "Hold on, Scotty's he's shooting."
Like, oh.
He was just like, "We gotta hold on, we gotta watch Scotty shoot." That's what you just knew Scotty was gonna win.
I know, right? Yeah, I don't think you can just scream in his backswing. He's still gonna put it to 7 feet.
If I'm a competitor, I'm just gonna talk. Screw it, right?
Yeah, literally. No, but he's been a top 40 machine, and we're still getting plus money. We're gonna miss out on that eventually because it's gonna be minus in like maybe probably next or 2 weeks. So I mean that's a good one. And then Trey Mullinax is plus 150. I put him as well on the card.
Like it.
He's 28th in the model, so it's not even that bad. He's actually, you've been seeing him on leaderboards recently, honestly, this year and the end of last year. He did have a miscut last week. It was actually horrendous, negative 10 strokes gains. It's also half of it was to putting, which is fine. 8th at Arnold Palmer. I mean, if you kind of look at his recents and going back to last year, he looks like he kind of plays well, like, the grinded out courses where you need to be, in the fairway to, succeed. So I do like him just to top 40, make a cut and be there on the weekend. So that's my top 40s. If you have any other ones to add. Yeah.
So definitely Sam Ryder is a guy I like. And then Lingmerth. And I watched him play a lot this past weekend. Liked what I was seeing. So I'm taking a stab here, plus 140. And he currently is one of my sleeper plays, under 5% owned. So Lingmerth at 7.3%. Another guy that I like I don't know if I'm going to take him top 40, but I have him in my DFS sleeper pool, is Mark Hubbard, who's been playing tremendous this year, 4% owned at 7.1. And then I'm debating on Wu. I'm still Brandon Wu. Brandon. He's at 11% owned in DFS, so he's playing very, very well. We're still, if we're getting top 40 plus 110, I feel like that's pretty dang good value. I just don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger just yet here. But I got 11% and it was 8.5 DK salary. So he screams value to me at the top 40 as a guy that I think he should be right at plus 100, maybe minus 110-ish or so. So I'll probably end up adding him to the card, but those initial ones for sure. Ben Griffin is going to be my favorite, top 40 plus 100. But yeah, those three, Lingmerth, Hubbard, and Ryder for sure. DFS plays for me. Some of those guys that you can get a little bit different. And this is, for DFS purposes, this is a wide open tournament. So feel free to fade some of that chalk up top. So you got JT, who's going to be 26% owned, the highest owned golfer. Hadwin at 22%, Spieth around 20, Fitzpatrick around 20, Rose 20, and Justin Sue at 20. And Sue is he's out of my play for this week. I can't play a guy at 20%. Who's been pretty damn good, but he hasn't won. And I need to play somebody that I've known, I've seen win on tour. I'm all for fading Sue, or if you don't want to fade him completely, if you're making multiple lineups, put him under the underweight, maybe go 10% under the field. But then you got Clark, Burns, Riley, and Griffin, and Fleetwood to round out the chalk of the week. So other than that, it is completely wide open. So feel free to play whoever you want, really, in DFS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big DFS guy, but yeah, this one's as much as wide open as it really is. I mean, I kind of went decent chalk on outrights this week, just lower, but I mean, even a long shot can hop in there. But
yep,
I don't know.
Another guy that we were on a couple weeks ago. Was that the Genesis where it was Tyler Duncan? So
you were,
that was Arnold. That was Palmer. That was the Palmer.
Yeah.
It was the Palmer. So yeah, Tyler Duncan. I'm playing him more in DFS than anything because he's still coming in at 7%, and he's at 7.3. So I think you get good value there. AV Studios, he says they play Gonzaga. That's who they play. I gotta go with Zags there.
Yeah,
I have them in the Final Four in a couple of mine, which is
I think they're flying under the radar this year.
They are. They're usually number one seed. They're usually doing all that jazz and being the number one overall seed and saying that they're overrated. Yada yada yada. And I think they got a little chip on their shoulder. Mm-hmm. So, all right. You got anything else with Valspar? Yeah. If we want to get into a little bit of maybe your Final Four or whatnot, or who we like for some first round upsets.
Oof, put me on the spot there. I haven't even filled them out. But now let me end the golf with one matchup I looked at. This is kind of mind-boggling that Hadwin's minus 105 against Brian Harman, and that's my favorite tournament matchup. I think I'm just going to do one this week. I mean, I'll take that value any day of the week. Like I said, I always look for the value at the tournament matchups.
Who is it? It's Hadwin over who?
Adam Hadwin over Brian Harman.
Harman, nice.
I don't know. Let me double check. Maybe Harman's been good here. I haven't even checked that, but that's something that just stuck right off. Just popped right out. Let me see his course history here. Harman. He hasn't been playing well. He came in 5th, 4 missed cuts and a 25th. So that makes me like it even more. 4 missed cuts out of 6 times here. I don't know why it's that price. So that's a good one to look at. So those are kind of my last thoughts. But if we want to get into March Madness, let me take a look real quick.
This is 2 to 3 minutes. I'm talking about some of my upsets that I can see happening in the first round. So
all right, you go first. You go first.
My favorite upset of the week is Furman over Virginia, and I love the ACC basketball, and Virginia. The ACC was so weak this year, and I just cannot. I'm favoring a lot of Big 12 teams in matchups, and I'm fading a lot of ACC teams. So Furman, give me Furman over Virginia. That's probably the boldest one I'll do. We have AV Studio. We got Providence beating Kentucky. I love that. I'm a big Providence guy this year too.
I disagree with his last one. I think I might have Miami in like the Elite Eight. People are sleeping hard.
Fading the ACC though. Fading the ACC.
Yeah,
so I mean, don't mind it. Don't mind it. But Drake has gotten a lot of love. A couple other ones that I do like in the first round. VCU potentially over St. Mary's, even though I really like that St. Mary's team, but I really like both of those. I wish they weren't playing each other. The other one that I had, not to hate, but man, I could see Oral Roberts beating Duke. Oral Roberts is elite, and I could 100%. Everybody is on Duke's nuts right now because they won the ACC tournament. Yada yada yada. Man, I could see it. I could see it happening. Those are my 2 favorite ones, I think, for the first round.
Yeah, I think my favorite, I don't even know anything about this team, but it's like Charleston. I might have gone to the Sweet 16. They're having San Diego State, and then I had them beating Virginia. So, like, always got to have one of those. I mean, I don't even know if this is an upset, but I probably have Memphis over Purdue in the second round.
Oh, that would be an upset. That would be an upset.
I mean, it would be, but, like, I feel like everyone's going to have that for some reason because everyone's just not going with Purdue.
Everyone fades Purdue in the tournament.
One I was very intrigued by, but I do like the Providence one, like you said. Mm-hmm. This is like one team because I'm not like that big. I follow college basketball. I know Kansas State is good, but I could see Montana State beating them.
Ooh,
I think that's my big one: Montana State over Kansas State.
Wow,
I don't know why. I mean, if AV Studios know more than me, am I stupid for that one? Or so I think that's maybe my big one, but.
It's March Madness. There is no such thing as this team for sure going to win, and so much chaos. I'm very excited to be distracted from work the next several days with this. So let us know in the comments if you guys are watching this on replay, who you guys are picking to win the whole thing. I've filled out a bunch of brackets, and I'd say 3 or 4 of them, and I got 1 or 2 currently with Alabama winning it. I can't go against Bama. I really like Kansas. So we got AV Studios, KU alum. There you go. I love Kansas. I don't know if they're going to go too far I could see him going to the Elite Eight for sure. We'll see how we go from there. Who would you pick to win it right here, right now on the stream?
Right here, right now, I'm gonna go. I'd probably go. I have a feeling like Big 12, Texas, maybe.
Okay, all right, I like it.
I've seen a lot though. Like it's one of those things where it's like chalk. I don't want to be chalk, you know. It always doesn't work out. I could see Gonzaga too, honestly, but whoever gets out of that region. But I don't know. We'll see. And I'll agree with Alabama with you. I mean, they have a pretty decent bracket, their region. So
yeah, I mean, get by Arizona, get by Baylor.
Yeah,
I think they got a pretty. I mean, especially if Virginia loses, like I think they might to Furman. That maybe even gets an easier path for Bama. But I like Baylor as well. I just think Baylor against Bama, that's a Bama game for sure. So all right, well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We will have our official cards out probably within the hour. Appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. And hopefully one of you guys out there still has a perfect bracket because it will not be me.
It won't be me either.
All right. See you guys.
All right.